1303 OPS. And that's putting Amy Hagger in motion. She's going to steal third, and Penrith have runners on second and third with one out here in the first. Looking for early runs. They scored them last week. Scored early. The Dolphins responded. And it was that big 11-run third inning, I believe.
Yeah, it was a 7-run inning in the second, followed by 11 in the third, which realistically put it out of the game for the Dolphins. Fortunately, I do get to talk about one of my favourite things in baseball right now, Luke.
Oh,
I get to talk about run expectancy matrices.
Let's not. Talked about them on Wednesday. Go on, give us your
numbers. There we go. So with one out and runners on second and third, you've got a 78% chance of scoring. Load up the bases, the percentages stay the same. But if we have an unsuccessful sacrifice play, that percentage drops with runners on second and third with 2 out to 36.5.
Right, or if Blacktown can find the second out here.
If you're Blacktown, you're desperate to find a second out here.
That's it. Slice that.
I mean, that's just baseball 101. Get the outs when you can and figure out the rest. Both of the Morgan sisters take a free Johnny Cash up the line.
That's it. Put those walking boots on.
Something that Penrith have prided themselves on, at least during the finals, having talked to the coaching staff, is their ability to use the stick and use the stick early. Strike one called on Salmon.
Well, they walked 170 times in the regular season to just 70 strikeouts, so 2.5%, 2.5 times more walks than strikeouts.
Anything in the positive side of that's usually a good thing for a ball club, but to have it at 2.5 times effectively, that is a really good rate. Oldfield third base coach going to take that one off the hop and without any gloves. Bit of a renaissance man down at the third base coach.
He's looking pretty sharp at his retirement. Retiring from the state league at Salmon. He strikes out and he caught the second out. Loaded bases. We've gone from an 80% down to that 30% mark now.
Yeah, to lose 45-ish% in your run probability, especially early in the game for such an offense-heavy team, might take its toll later.
So loaded bases, 2 out. Tiffany Cooper now the hitter. That pitch for a ball, 2-0. Signaled by Billy Green. Tiff Cooper hitting 219 on the season. 732 all singles. Driven in 14. 20 walks, 10 strikeouts. So 2-to-1 walk to strikeout ratio. Defensively for Blacktown, we've got Matilda Cordingly in right. Taylor Jones in centre, Hayley Wilson left, around the infielder to Nick Green at third, Amelia McDonald at short, Desiree Edgley at second, Justin Ages at first, and the catcher is Phoebe Watson. The second occurrence of the year for Georgia Liberopoulos, and Tiffany Cooper strikes out, all 3 outs by the way of the K. Penrith, they load the bases but can't get on the board. So we'll head to the bottom of the first. It'll be Blacktown with their chance to start the scoring here in this New South Wales State League Women's League second grade grand final. Millie McDonald's going to lead it off here in the bottom of the first. Left-handed hitter in the box. Gets the start in centre field tonight in the grand final. One ripped up the line and off the glove. Knock it into right field.
Tough start defensively for Norris over at first base.
Around the Blacktown defence, it's Claudine Teahuda-Kostic in left, the daughter Alia Teahuda-Kostic in centre, and in right field Kate Salmon. Around the infield, it's Daniel Hayes at third, the shortstop Erin Morgan, Amy Hager at second base, and Alison Morris just unable to handle that ball. Bit of a tough in between hop, throw on the catch at Tiffany Cooper, a little bit offline. We'll see Millie McDonald steals second, so a runner in scoring position for Blacktown. Jess Morgan gets the start in the championship game. 42 innings on the year. She made 10 starts, gave up 26 earned runs, 45 hits, walked 22, struck out 56, so double the strikeouts to walks. Finished the season with a pretty respectable 4.33 ERA in women's second grade. Any ERA around that is very handy.
Yeah, an ERA anywhere between 3.5 to 4 is usually going to put you in some pretty good conversations. I do believe both of the Morgan sisters were in league-wide MVP conversation this year, and for good reason. You've got someone that can attack both sides of the ball like Morgan, where she can obviously pitch to a 4 flat ERA and hit at elite level for the women's second grade. Don't see why not.
Taylor Jones goes down on strikes for the first out. That one popped up. Pitcher, catcher looking for it. Underneath it is Jess Morgan. It's going to fall foul, and Labaropoulos will get a bit of a life. First year back for Georgia after a few years off out of the Women's League competition.
It's always good to see players come back and then immediately jump back into, again, top-level competition.
It was playing first grade at Borkham Hills before the hiatus. As well. That one off the end of the bat. It's going to roll up the line and just stay foul.
Now, when you've been given effectively 2 opportunities with that foul ball that rolled in and out, you don't want to look a gift horse in the mouth too much. You want to get a good piece of the ball, and you want to put it in play and potentially score that run on second.
Numbers show that Jess Morgan can be hit. And unfortunately, she goes the other way and she'll hit Labaropoulos. Maybe third time lucky for Labaropoulos. Had the foul ball that was dropped, a little cue shot off the end of the bat, which just stayed foul, and Jess Morgan just had enough and decided to put her on base, despite being ahead 0-2. Phoebe Watson pitched on the outside corner for a called strike one. Another player, similar to Georgia, a few years out of the game, now returning. That one ripped through the left side. Runner was going. Millie McDonald was in motion. And Blacktown strike first here in this Women's League second grade grand final. Good old hit and run produces our first run of the game.
Can't go wrong with short and sharp baseball. You just want to move the runners around, let the ball do the rest.
That's it. Sometimes you've got to put the ball in play and let the magic happen, and maybe Watson certainly did that. Pitch to Annette Green in there for a called strike one, and this is a player who has popped up on numerous teams of the week throughout the season. Annette Green. Multiple multi-hit games. I think she even had a home run. No. I think wrong.
You lose. Good day, sir.
Did lose. 2 multi-hit games. She went 3 for 4 against the Blackcats back on the 25th of October. And 2 for 3 against Boomers. Only had 3 games where she didn't get a hit.
They have all come since the middle of February, though, which not what you want to see.
Back, no swing.
And those 3 hitless games all coming from February 14th onwards. The first one of which was against the Blackcats.
Went 0 for 2, but did walk and score twice. And then against the other Penrith team, the Wildcats, went 0 for 1. 3 walks and 3 runs. Final qualifying semi-final, went 0 for 3. Drove in 3, scored twice, and had a walk. But she strikes out here for the second out. Penrith trying to finish this hitting, strand a couple of runners, and get to work in the top of the second. Recover that run that Blacktown have scored here in the bottom of the first. Desiree Edgley, next hitter for Blacktown. Very consistent former with bat and arm. Thought she might have been on the mound to start things tonight, as being the primary pitcher of choice for the workers. That one popped up, lifted into centre field, running in for it. Aaliyah Tiahura-Kostic can't get there, and it's going to drop in for a base hit. 2 more runs on the board for Blacktown. The ball just hanging up, teasing Aaliyah in centre field, who is gaining on it quickly. Drops right at the last minute before she can get the glove stretched out. 2-run single there for Desiree Edgley to triple up the lead, now 3-0 for Justine Aegis.
We talked on Wednesday night briefly about what the magic number would be as a ball is popped to shallow left, and it is dropped by the elder Tiahura-Kostic, Claudine. Ball does stay fair and both runners do move 90 feet. We did talk briefly on Wednesday night about magic numbers and the number you need to get to theoretically to give yourself a chance of locking up the game. Now, I had the each way bet of saying 2 or 10. Tonight, I'm going to go with 5.
Yeah, I'm going to raise you on that. I'm going to say it's going to be around 8 or 9, maybe into the double figures. Saw Penrith put on a lot of runs against the Dolphins. Also, Blacktown doing the same. So far, we've had bases loaded walk. Blacktown with a few base runners here, 5 now in total on the inning. That one just getting in. Tiffany accordingly, her jump back out of the way, pops that up right side, underneath it. There's Amy Hagger, and she makes the catch. But 3 here in the bottom of the first for Blacktown. They're going to play from in front in this Women's League second grade grand final. We're off to the second. Claudine Two-Hood Caustic will lead it off for Penrith, her team trailing 3-0 big. Swing and a miss at the first pitch by Georgia Labaropoulos. Out of the Nationals, all these names that just roll off the tongue. Labaropoulos, another one off them.
Got to start doing tongue twisters before we get into the booth.
Right, in on the hands, and it's a strikeout for the first out before we even got to look at Claudine's season, so we'll have to wait till our next at bat. Wax lyrical. 4 outs recorded by Blacktown, all of them by the strikeout of Labaropoulos, certainly showing no ill effects of a lack of work. She pitched 2/3 of an inning back in December and hasn't done anything outside of that. In the women's league, at least, maybe playing some local ball.
Go out and support your local clubs, folks, when given the opportunity. Do have Alison Norris in the box at the moment. She's had a 294 average on the year, a 657 on base. She drives one through the gap on the right side. Go through the right fielder's legs. Norris will be safe at first. Right as I was about to get to her third number, her OPS, 951. So it does get on base and does hit.
On base with power, that's what you like to see.
Exactly. 10 stolen bases on the year for 100% accuracy, which is always something we do like to see. One of them coming against Blacktown.
Inside corner there to Danielle Haynes, quarter strike by Billy Green. Foul off.
It's good to see that the ballpark is filling up tonight. So we are going to have a quite busy weekend out at Blacktown International Sports Park.
He's fighting off a couple of tough pitches here from Labaropoulos. Time. Had to get dirty though, she's a long way off first. Nice strong arm on the catcher for Eddie Watson.
Again, the dangerous base running and offense of Penrith hasn't gone and bitten them yet, but there is a world where it might end up doing that later as Hayes is going to strike out swinging. We do flip back to the top of the lineup with young Alia Tia-Hura-Kostic now at the dish.
Struck out to start the game. I wonder how many times the mother-daughter combination struck out for the first and third out of an inning.
That was a good question. Just this year or just,
no, I just think
all time?
Ever in any form of baseball. Father-son combination, first and third out. It's not going to happen here because she's just been hit by a pitch.
No, it's not.
Second hit by a pitch by Georgia Labaropoulos. Third on the game after Jess Morgan had one in the bottom first. Normally it's frowned upon if you as a single person is the first and third out of an inning.
Yeah, but what do you do if it is genetically related? I mean, I can't imagine the Griffey family had that problem too many times.
Definitely not. Or the Ripken family.
Especially not the Ripken family.
Strike one.
3 things are known in this life: death, taxes, and the Iron Man getting on base.
That one lifted into centre field. No, not centre field. It looked further than what we gave it credit for. And that one's popped up, nicely handled by Amelia McDonald, who comes running into the middle of the infield and She makes the catch for the third out of the inning. The first out by Blacktown. It isn't a strikeout. Blacktown will take their 3-0 lead into the bottom of the second.
Don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, the canteen is open behind the first base grandstand. And if you need a refreshment, the bar is open down in the concourse.
Bottom of the second. First pitch ducking out of the way. Jess Morgan's. Going to be Hayley Wilson and top back to the top of the order with Amelia McDonald and Taylor Jones outside corner. 1-1. The count evens up nicely.
Young Wilson's numbers on the year. She's got a 211 batting average, 464 on base, and a 675 OPS. Did have a multi-hit game on November 22nd against the Dolphins, which was always good to see. It's gotten hotter as the year's gone on. Did have the chance to talk to the Blacktown coaching staff prior to the game starting, and she was one of the names that they pointed out to keep an eye on throughout the game. So she's developed a lot over the year, more with her patience in the batter's box than anything.
Maybe showing a little bit too much patience there as she strikes out.
Potentially too much, yes.
First out of the inning. Jess Morgan looking to get in and out of these quickly without too much or any damage at all. She can avoid it. It's a 3-0 ball game. Blacktown qualified by beating the Dolphins in the grand final qualifying semi-final a fortnight ago. It was 14-6 that game. Just the second game the Dolphins had lost all year. In the club. Blacktown scored 4 in the first, 2 in the second. Dolphins slowed them down through inning 3 and 4 with a couple of zeros before a 5-run fifth took control of the game. 1 in the 6th and 2 in the 7th. There's 2 quick strikeouts here for Jess Morgan. Blacktown scoring 14 runs on 12 hits. The Dolphins 6 runs on just a 10. They made 8 errors.
Wow.
In that game. It's tough to win.
You know,
back of 8 errors.
You know what they say, offense wins games and defense wins championships.
Yeah. One popped up, right side. Taylor Jones, Annette Green and Desiree Edgley getting the job on the mound for Blacktown. Decided to go with Liberopolis tonight in the decider. So far it's turned out pretty well for them. Off the leggings of the catcher, but going anywhere. Strike two. Taylor Jones goes down on strikes, and Jess Morgan does get the 1-2-3 in the bottom of the second. Keeps Blacktown off the bases. Head to the third. Jess Morgan leads it off for the Blackcats. Followed by Erin Morgan and Kate Salmon, 3-4-5.
Give Joss Morgan her flowers. The two-way superstar, Jess Morgan.
Yeah, the Shohei Ohtani of the Penrith Blackcats, you could say. And I think we're putting Desiree Edgley in that conversation as well. Jess and Erin Morgan back with Penrith after a stint with the Ride Hawks up in the first grade competition. It's always handy as a second grade club when you can attract a couple of first graders to come back and make you all that much stronger. Penrith pushing for that spot up in first grade. Thought they might have had it this year, but couldn't quite get the numbers across the line. At one point, according to 14 Teodo Kostic, they had 3 teams. Didn't quite have enough for 3 instead of with the 2. Breaking pitch. Left the periscope up, luckily not to get it in the way. It's 3-2. Walks back in top of the second, top of the first in fact. That one over the head of Desiree Edgley, over to it. Is Accordingly, had the last hit to her get under her legs. Able to bring that one in. Matilda Accordingly in there in right field. Ron Accordingly sister in there in game changer, which I threw me earlier. Aaron Morgan. 2 each now. 2 hit by pitches on each side of the scorecard. But 2-1, nobody out.
2-1, nobody out indeed.
Penrith. 3-0. 2 hits in the ball game.
And you've got to have a look inside the playbook for Penrith last week at the very least. And a very simple game plan. Trust the stick, trust the glove, trust the work they've put in all year. They've had opportunities everywhere. They made it work last week. Hoping to make it work again tonight.
One on the ground to the right side. Loveropoulos, she's going to go to short to McDonald for 1. And just doesn't get it back in time to get Salmon hustling up that line as fast as she could. Stays out of the double play. Aaron Morgan retired on the fielder's choice. Nice work by the pitcher, Loveropoulos, who was a shortstop, natural shortstop coming through the juniors. One away here in the third.
Making it sound like pitchers aren't athletes, Luke.
Well, some would debate that they're not.
And some would be wrong.
Some would say that they are.
And those would be correct.
It's all about perception. Georgia Loveropoulos certainly showing her athleticism there. That's why I gave her the raps of being a shortstop. See and hear a lot of pitchers who were position players in their youth. Some love to hunt down the ball, others just run the opposite way.
I'm getting paid to throw, I'm not getting paid to catch.
That's it. We saw it on Wednesday night. Josh Geyer was happy to run down and pop up on the infield.
One of the best pitchers I'd ever met was a reformed outfielder who couldn't catch. Dropped cans of corn like they were on the clearance aisle, but man, he could throw a ball hard.
On the bottom zone, thinking Cuba's going to draw the walk. And second time tonight, Penrith will have the bases loaded. See what the lower half of the order can do. They struck out. Pair of strikeouts to end the first inning. Bases loaded with 1 out here once more. Outside corner in there to 14 Teo Hudu-Kosti. 4-1. One of those strikeout victims. Actually 14 struck out to start the second.
Now, if you're just looking at the pitching lines right now, this is a proper major league pitching duel right now. Got 2.1 thrown for Liberopoulos. 2 hits, 3 walks, and 5 strikeouts. Compared to Jess Morgan's 2 innings pitched, 2 hits, 3 runs, none of them earned. No walks and 5 strikeouts. Those are some Jacob de Grom-esque numbers.
Certainly are.
Claudine fans on a fastball up top.
2-1 count. Misses that one for 2-2. Get a team on the board here in the third. Shikash going to strike out for the second time tonight. Georgia Loveropoulos trying to wiggle herself out of another jam. She did it in the first, going to try and do it here in the third, and she ran 3 more Penrith base runners.
You're only 3 pitches away from keeping a shutout alive. As
One popped up on the infield. Underneath it is McDonald. She settles. She makes the catch. Twice now. She's ended an inning. She ended the second on the pop-up. That pop up a little bit higher, but she makes the catch to find the third out. 6 strikeouts for Labaropoulos. And she gets her team into the bottom of the third. Penrith unable to score.
Back here in the bottom of the third, and women's second grade action out at Blacktown International Sports Park. Morgan throws one down and away. Bit of pitcher-on-pitcher action as Liberopoulos fans on one, makes it a 0-2 count.
Happy with herself after missing that pitch.
Not in the slightest.
Frustration. Ooh, tried to stick a knee in front of that one. Hit by a pitch already tonight. Tried to make it 2. Count now 2 and 2. That one fouled off. Dropped down the concourse and the battle continues. Blacktown starting pitchers. Tips that one. Tiffany Cooper can't hold on. She got another life.
She does get another life.
She got 2 on the pop-up that wasn't caught, and a little cue shot that was fair for a long while before eventually rolling foul. Next pitch, she was hit by a pitch, that one off the hand, and that'll foul off again.
Almost landed squarely in the nachos of with Sarah in the third row. You can keep that one for your troubles, mate.
Don't mind some baseball into nachos. No beer cups here, so. Strike 3. The floating breaking ball by Jess Morgan. Retires Liberopoulos. Pitchers continue to rack up the strikeouts. That one just freezing Liberopoulos, putting her in 2 minds. Jess Morgan now has 5 straight outs. Trying to keep this a 3-run ball game. They threatened Blacktown. Blacktown have bent but not broken. One to the right side. Hagar fields it, tosses it over to Aegis, to Norris, in fact, getting my teams mixed up. Makes it hard when both teams are wearing the same colour.
Yeah.
For a moment there, your mind escapes you. Second out of the bottom of the third. We play 7 here with a 3-hour time limit. If we're tied up after 7, then we just continue.
How good is free baseball?
Free baseball.
Pay for your ticket, get to your seat, and all of a sudden you get some for free. Not exactly going to be complaining.
Ripped up the right side, and a nice catch by Norris at first. 6 up, 6 down, make it 7 for Jess Morgan. And Penrith are going to come out in the 4th. Try and get on base, but they're going to try and get a run this time. Daniel Hayes will lead it off for Penrith. 9-1-2 for the Blackcats. Top of their order has been on base, but hasn't been able to come across the plate just yet. They'll have 4th chance to score some runs. They trail this ball game 3-0. They had to go the long way. And a huge walk-off victory against the Boomers a fortnight ago in the elimination semi-final. Spoke earlier at the top of this game about the result last week over the Dolphins knocking out the defending champions. So a huge 11-run 3rd inning.
Now, can I take you on a journey, Luke? Can you do me a favour?
I'd love to go on a journey. The drive from the northern beaches out here isn't long enough sometimes.
It's November. It's 2024.
Right.
The Yankees have dropped a ball in centre field.
Oh, not again.
Not again. Heaven forbid. It's Friday the 22nd.
Right.
It is the last time Blacktown lost a baseball game.
Really?
Yes. It was at Eastern Dolphins. It was an 11-4 ball game. 11-14 ball game, rather.
Okay.
We go
Quite the run.
that far back. Each of the games they've won, they've scored, the lowest they've scored in all the games they've won in that run was 9.
Right.
They've got
Okay.
21, 18, and 17 runs all scored within that time span.
Daniel Hayes draws the lead off war. Well, that's certainly run. We've seen Borkham Hills in the 1st grade men's competition. They're now at a 10-game winning streak. They snapped Blacktown's 6-game winning streak. And Rick Price is just going to come out and have a chat with his starting pitcher. He's done a really good job through 3+ innings so far. Not bad for a first outing. since, what did I say, December. And that outing was only 2/3 winning where she faced 7 batters. Pitcher coming through the junior ranks also played shortstop. Had a quite remarkable Australian Little League Championship tournament when she was playing with Hills.
Hills seem to be one of the strongest junior competitions in Australia, if you ask me. My professional opinion.
That one behind Aliyah Teohorokostik. Mobropoulos just a little bit shaken out. They're frustrated with herself that she let that one get away.
Forget all the Little League Nationals and how many AYC teams are constructed full of Hills juniors. Just want to talk about the amount of skill level in first grade and further, like ABL players, all that level that come from the Hills junior ranks.
Outside corner, the ball gets away. Hills will enjoy the free trip up to seconds.
Another runner in scoring position for Penrith. Puts them at, if I'm not incorrect, 6 on the night. Runners in scoring position.
Had plenty of chances. Yep, loaded bases twice and then in. I feel a little positive. So maybe a decision coming up for the Blacktown coaching staff with the starting pitcher. Maybe just running out of a little bit of gas. A couple of walks here to start the inning. So I think that's 4 now total on night, plus a couple of hit batters. 5 walks, yep, 5 walks to hit by pitch. That one lifted. Hayes was moving. That was going to drop into centre field. They'll have an out, will they? Just at second base. Taylor Jones coming in. Aliyah Teohorokostik is going to be out on the 8-6 fielder's choice. Not an everyday scoring decision. So that's the way it falls in this instance. Neil Hayes was off and running. She had to freeze. And once that ball dropped, she made her way over to third. So the first run for Penrith, just 90 feet away. It's going to be the 3-4 punch of the Morgan sisters, Jess, followed by Erin. Providing Penrith don't ground themselves into a double play.
We've got Liberopoulos here at 75 pitches. Now there's currently no one warming up in either bullpen, but I wouldn't be surprised if we did see this pitching substitution come from the field.
Yeah, very rarely do you see in the Women's League the pitcher warming up. Unless, of course, they
get subbed out.
In their hitting side. But both teams choosing to run with the starting 9 as opposed to batting through a lineup of up to 12. Which means any defensive change or offensive change they make is permanent. Whereas they had have chosen to run with the 12-person lineup, they can sub plays in and out at will, and maybe have a pitcher in the bullpen getting ready. That one ripped over the head of Taylor Jones. Is going to be a long run that's going to score 2 for Penrith. Landing second is Amy Hagar. And one swing of the bat makes it a 1 run. The ball game. Penrith finally getting on the board in this second grade Women's League Grand Final. They've had the bases loaded twice, weren't able to capitalise. And they finally get on the board here, 3-2. And that ringing double by Jess Morgan.
Absolutely beautiful stroke there from Jess Morgan. Again, someone that can do it on both sides of the ball. finally get some conversion for Penrith as they score 2 runs.
Well, they've had it in them. They just haven't been able to find that killer punch, and you just knew when that ball came off the bat, it was hit hard. And Taylor Jones's only choice and only reaction was to turn around and get off to the races. He was never going to stop 2 runs scoring. The question was, where would Jess Morgan end up? And she's happy to cruise into second, give her sister a chance to drive her in and tie this ball game.
Just like to say that Erin's first swing of the at-bat was a little bit of what you can do, I can do better. Those of us with siblings know that it doesn't matter how good your siblings may be, you always want to get something up on them.
Pitching options for Blacktown include Desiree Edgley, Taylor Jones.
Oh,
Scott Aaron Morgan on the shoulder blade, and that might be it for Georgia Liveropoulos. We'll see if they go to Desiree. Looks like she's preparing herself to take up the mound. Penrith have struck here. They've scored 2. That will be the end of Georgia Liveropoulos' night. 3+, the first outing for her since December. It's good through the first 3, maybe just a little bit tired here in the 4th. Penrith have jumped on to make it a 1-run ball game. They have 2 on, still nobody out. We'll come back after the pitching change. Edgley takes over for Blacktown. 15 appearances on the year, 12 of them for starts. Spoke about her numbers earlier in this ball game. 58 in the 3rd innings, including 3 innings in relief against the Dolphins a fortnight ago to qualify for tonight's decider. Just short 3.96 ERA. Spoke about decent looking ERA in the Women's League. 2nd grade competition. Anything kind of between, anything in the 3s is outstanding. I think up to probably 5 is not a bad number to have.
obviously ERA is like golf, the lower the better.
What do you mean? I hit 102 the other day. I thought that was good. I think my days of 100 are long gone, which is good. Nate Salmon the hitter. 3-1 the count. So that's the problem when you come from the field in a pitch and change situation. Might take you a batter or two just to find your feet and get your range. You're right, Grady. It's a nice little crowd building here at Blacktown. Makes it easy when the two teams in the grand final are nice and close to the stadium.
Makes it easy when the two teams in the grand final are obviously the two best teams in the comp.
Strike 3 there to Kate Salmon, and she's down looking. That's the first out. Correction, second out of the game. Did have that fielder's choice, 8 to 6. Which is the first out. So 2 outs. Tiffany Cooper, last chance to try and tie this ball game up here in the 4th. That one up the line, but that'll get fouled.
You did mention earlier that the rules of women's second grade, we only have 7 innings complete with a 3-hour limit. Extras if needed. And we do start to look a little bit further ahead and see the finish line. Might start to see a bit of pressure put on
the
Penrith.
second half of this ball game, that one. As Cooper ducking, 2 straight pitches she's had to duck to cover.
Not something you want to see as a Penrith fan, a baseball fan, regardless of who you're supporting, is a batter trying to get out of the way.
Desiree Edgley rebounds. She gets the final 2 outs of the inning. Penrith get 2. They make it a 1-run ball game. Blacktown will try and respond to the bottom half of the 4th.
Ladies and gentlemen, the public service announcement following the presentation of the second grade game tonight. We do require your assistance to put the tarp on the field to ensure limited damage with rain expected overnight. So following the presentation, if you have your assistance down the field to spread the tarp, it would be greatly appreciated. Thank you.
Edgley ages accordingly for Blacktown here in the bottom of the 4th. We enter officially the second half of the game. In the second half, the lower half of this Blacktown batting order. Combined 1 for 4 so far. Desiree Edgley responsible for the first 2 runs of tonight's game. Bottom of the 1st. That one fouls it off. Getting ahead. Pitch count's pretty handy at 53 through the first 3. That one fouled off again. That one taken to second netting and drops down in the concourse. On 2 hitter. Desiree Edgley.
Might notice that the outfield has shifted over towards that left side foul line a little bit. Desiree, much more of a pull hitter if you look at her spray chart.
It's jumping out of the way. That one thought for a second it might have clipped her pants on the way through. But Billy Green, a swing and a miss. Desiree goes down. Look, that's 8 in a row retired by Jess Morgan. Difficult inning in the first. Been locked in since.
It only takes one inning to win a baseball game, Luke. Might only take one at bat in the later stages of this game.
Well, certainly poised for that.
Strike called on the outside corner of the plate. 2 strikes.
Morgan working quickly and working ahead. Oh.
Ooh. Justine getting a little off-footed.
Maybe lost her balance there. A little bit obvious to stick your leg in front of the ball like that. I don't think Billy Green's falling for it. That one on the ground. Over to the shortstop, Erin Morgan. Fire across the diamond.
Oh.
Accepted over there by Ali Norris. That's the second out.
Absolutely beautiful defensive work from Erin Morgan.
Ball got to her slowly. A couple of nice bounces. It sat up for her. She fired a strike across the diamond for out number 2.
Tilt accordingly. Now up in the box. Bit of a hitter that can go anywhere. Sprays it to all field. Favours the pull side ever so slightly, but it's only by about 1 or 2 hits. So
it's the spray chart. One to the right side. Haggard, she's been busy tonight. Had to come in a long way to get that one. But she does that. Makes it look easy, flips it over to Norris. That's 10 in a row retired by Jess Morgan and his Penrith defensive side. They trail by 1 as we head to the 5th. Penrith strikeouts are ready for Claudine Teahuta-Kostic. She's going to try and get herself aboard. Struck out to start the second, struck out in the 4th. help her team overcome this one-run deficit here in the 5th. 2 runs on 3 hits, 2 errors for Penrith. That one straight at Georgia Liberopoulos. Look what I found. And a great defensive play by the Blacktown shortstop. Strong through 3 innings on the mound. And there's a trouble in the 4th. She comes out and she makes a bit of a web gem here to start the 5th. 14. Happy she didn't strike out. But dirty she didn't get on. Robbed of a base hit.
Hey, credit goes to you, Luke. You mentioned earlier that young Liberopoulos was a shortstop by trade in her junior years, and with a play like that, I'm actually quite shocked she didn't start the game there. That's just lockdown defense at its finest.
Blacktown obviously came in with the plan. I know Desiree's going to have a certain limit of what she can throw. Sure, she's probably thrown a bunch of long outings in the season. But when you've got the arms to get the job done, why not use them? That one hit on the ground. Nice long throw from Amelia McDonald, and Justin Aegis will just pick up the short hop and tag the runner in Ali Norris, and that's 2 quick outs here for Blacktown, trying for their first 1-2-3 inning of the night. A bunch of 5 inning appearances for Desiree Edgley on the season, so can go deep in the games. Sometimes once you get rid of your main starter, that's when things can unravel. But if you start, it's a bit of an opener scenario.
Play a bit of Texas Rays, the Tampa Bay Rays baseball rather.
That's it.
Have been known to use the opener quite a lot the last few years. Popped up, deep centre. Will be taken in by Jones out in centre field. That will end the top of the 5th as we head to the home half with Blacktown leading 3-2. Back in the bottom of the 5th, Blacktown leading Penrith 3-2 in this women's 2nd grade grand final. Have got the ball popped up to Danielle Hayes at 3rd. And the tag is applied at first.
Nice work by Ali Norris there to reach for the ball, brought her off the bag for a second, then got her foot back down in time. Get Hayley Wilson for the first out of the inning. Sorry, mate, didn't mean to cut you off.
Ah, it's okay, I understand. Just know it'll come back eventually, Luke. It'll come back eventually.
McDonald now Going for the third time of the night, scored a run, struck out. Show for 2 so far, just 2 hits allowed for Jess Morgan. Stingy as she has been. Hasn't issued a walk. Has hit a batter in line Barockles. I thought she'd hit 2, but obviously not. I did say 2 all before.
If I can just talk about Amelia McDonald right now. Do have that righty-lefty matchup, which is always going to favour the box in that scenario. Does play a bit more of pull-side baseball for a lefty, which does go to the right field side. She swings on one and fouls it into the Penrith dugout. Is known to get the extra bases when she needs them. A home run, a triple on the year. Home run against Borkham Hills on October 11th. Triple against Boomers on October 6th as she gets fanned by Morgan.
8 strikeouts now by Jess Morgan.
Again, they are some proper major league numbers when you're getting 8 strikeouts in a game, especially through 4 2/3 innings.
I definitely thought we might have been in for a bit more action offensively, given the rate that these 2 teams have scored runs over the last few weeks, but pitchers really slowing it down and winning the battles. Total of 16 strikeouts on the night, 8 apiece. Morgan looking for her 13th consecutive out.
We mentioned it earlier in the broadcast, Luke. Offense wins games, defense wins championships.
That's it, and there's another strikeout. Make it 9 now for Jess Morgan. There is 13 in a row. This game heads to the 6th. We're down to our final 6 outs. Will we need more? Find out in a minute. We move to the championship innings of this Women's League second grade grand final. And we go top of the lineup with Aliyah Teahuru-Kostic. He's had a busy night. Walked and hit by a pitch. Hasn't quite come across the score yet. But she could well and truly be the tying run, and just as I start that statement, she drives one back up the middle. First hit allowed by Desiree Edgley, her inning and 2/3 so far. She struck out 2, and up until that hadn't allowed a hit. Stranded a couple of runners to end the 4th, worked through quickly in the 5th. Now has to deal with the top of the Penrith order. Good throw by Watson on the money and gets Teahuru-Kostic. She was out on the fielder's choice, 8-6 in her last trip around the bases. This time Phoebe Watson throws an absolute dart back up the middle, and Aliyah is tagged out. Singles and then caught stealing. to start the top of the 6th. Just as I mentioned, she might be the game tying run. That now falls in the lap of potentially Amy Hagger if she can get herself on.
Could that be the dagger for Blacktown? Could that play right there, that immaculate reaction time from Phoebe Watson, be the be-all and end-all of tonight's game?
Popped up, Georgia Labaropoulos sits underneath it. And we've seen Jess Morgan, she's currently up to 13 in a row retired. Despite the single, Desiree Edgley now 8 retired. And I predicted that the magic number tonight was going to be about 8. You said 5. At the moment, it's looking like your guess is a little bit better than mine. When you look at it, these two teams were 8 all and 12-10. But as grand finals can be, things get a lot tighter. That one lifted into left field. 2 out hitting there by Jess Morgan. And the Morgan sisters combine to tie this ball game up. Jess Morgan drove in Penrith's only 2 runs in her previous at-bat. A towering shot over the head of Taylor Jones in centre field.
Now, it's not very often you're going to see a player of the game come from a losing side, but there is a very real argument you could make for Jess Morgan getting the MVP of this match.
Providing Penrith can't turn it around and win the game.
Providing. And if Penrith can turn it around, it's all the more reason to give it to Jess Morgan, who has just been electric tonight.
9 strikeouts. Drove in Penrith's only 2 runs. She could well be the tying run here in the 6th. The time is running out for Penrith. They can't get it done here. They'll have the lower half of the order. 5, 6, 7. To try and find a tying run. I'm sure Penrith saw the arm from Phoebe Watson to retire Georgia Labaropoulos. They're not going to chance things any further here. Swing by Erin Morgan.
These Morgan sisters, they have just such a violent swing on them. When they make contact, as evident earlier tonight, the ball just goes a long, long way.
Just like that one. Over the top of the beer garden along third base and out of play over towards the batting cages. That's obviously something they've brought back from a handful of years playing in the first grade competition. Taking them full season now just to readjust to, just catching Erin Morgan there. So Jess Morgan will be the time right now in scoring position, and Big Price is just going to come out, just have a chat with Desi and just give her a moment to refocus.
If we are going to see a pitching change this late in the game, what options do Blacktown have, Luke?
I think it'll be Taylor Jones, mate, to take over and get it done. She's been the one pitcher that Blacktown have gone to, aside from Desi. A couple of hits here and a hit by pitch.
So our prospective reliever, Taylor Jones, has got a 7 ERA but a 1.8 whip. Clean 100 batting average against.
Strike in there to catch that. That 100 batting average against is really going to come into play. That one popped up, right side. In for it is a net green. Can't get it to make the catch. Kate Salmon's going to score, and the throw gets away from Justine Aegis. And that's going to allow Jess Morgan to score the game-tying run. We said it a couple of innings ago, you've got to put the ball in play and magic can happen. And the single by Jess Morgan. She moves up to second after assist to draw the walk. And Kate Salmon puts the ball in play. On a very high pop-up. Net green maybe making the throw to first, and she could have just put it in her pocket and left the bases loaded. It's now a 3-3 ball game here in the sixth. I said we were due for some late drama.
Oh, you want a drama, Luke?
I want a drama. Nothing like a dramatic finish in a grand final. We've had a lot of drama so far throughout. Men's prelim finals, a couple of runners thrown out at home last Saturday night. Perfect throw into a tag on Wednesday night. Right, upsetting the Dolphins in the first grade prelim last week. That one hit on the ground. Barbaropoulos, high throw, stretched by Agers at first. And that ends the inning. But this ball game is tied. Can Blacktown find a way to solve Jess Morgan? They come up in the bottom of the sixth. Three, 4, 5 for Penrith. Scored 3 in the first, and they've been shut down since then. Blacktown have. Barbaropoulos sitting over the top of that one. All 1 strike. Here in the bottom of the sixth. And it took a couple of innings to get going. They finally cracked the starting pitcher in Barbaropoulos. 2 off for in the fourth, and they just tied up the ball game off Desiree Edgley here in the top half of the sixth. Blacktown have a response. Lifted, left side, tough play. Over to it. Erin Morgan though, tips off her glove and will roll over to second base. So finally that run of 13 straight retired comes to an end. Is it off the, just off the glove? Erin just walking back to a position with her hat off, thinking maybe
off the cranium, possibly?
Maybe off the back of the head. She did well to get over there for it. I thought it was going into shadow left field, but the ball has been deceiving me all night, Grady Roberts.
It has, Luke Eisenhower. It truly has.
A couple of pop-ups that looked like they were on the outfield, but still on the infield. So it's an error charge to Erin Morgan. Georgia Barbaropoulos, you'd think would be, yep, she does take off the ball. Gets past Tiffany Cooper. Third error charged to Penrith on the night, just a 1 for Blacktown. And the Workers have the respondent run, the game, the go-ahead run rather, at second base in scoring position. Coming up a little bit high, 2-0. They just got to put the ball in play and see what happens. Check over at second. Aaron Morgan with a tag.
Ooh.
Safe. Close play over there at second, and Kenny Oldfield's just going to come out and have a chat with Donnie Washburn. He thinks it was closer than it appeared. Right behind him is Billy Green, just to make sure Kenny behaves himself. We know Kenny's passion for the game. Sometimes it can lead him into a little bit of trouble.
Passionate might be an understatement when revolving the Oldfield family.
Not happy with the call from Donnie Washburn, but he won't be overturning it. A few more choice words as he walks back to the dugout under the guidance of Billy Green, and now letting Billy Green know his thoughts.
Oldfield is going to stay in the game.
Not going to say the magic word just yet.
Not just yet. Hey, there's time left on the board.
That's it.
We are just over an hour and a half, and it does look like Oldfield is going to get another chastising from Billy Green.
You can consider that a warning issue there to Mr. Oldfield. Obviously, just had one more thing to say. Billy Green steps back behind the plate.
Oldfield pleading his case to the fans in the front row.
And one down and away, so it's a 4-pitch walk there to Phoebe Watson. She will represent a very important insurance run for Blacktown. Got in trouble on Wednesday night for saying that you can't score insurance runs in the 4th inning.
Anything above 1 is an insurance run, quite frankly. Phoebe Watson is going to go on the first pitch. We'll put her at 5 stolen bases on the year.
Strike line taken by Annette Green, the courtesy take. That one ripped up the right side, but fouled out of play. And crunch time here for Penrith. People in the chat maybe agreeing with Kenny Oldfield's questioning of Donnie Washburn. That doesn't matter because the only call that was made was the safe call, and now Blacktown runners from second and third. Nobody out and a chance to take back control of the game. Shortstop Aaron Morgan playing back with runners from second and third and overthrows that ball. Both the runners come in, and Annette Green moving up to second. It'll be a 2-base error for Aaron Morgan. And Blacktown have their noses back in front. 5-3, they lead it. And a throwing error by Aaron Morgan, who for whatever reason was playing back with runners in second and third and nobody out. Umpires are just themselves in the proper position.
Does bring Desiree Edgley up to the dish.
Up and away. Here to Desi, you could really drive the hammer home here.
Again, those Tiahura Caustic girls out in centre and left field covering over, as Edgley is a bit more of a pull-side hitter. And another insurance run moves over 90 feet. As Green stand-up steal of third.
Tiffany Cooper just couldn't release the ball on the attempt to throw over to third base. Swing and miss by Edgley there, 2 balls and a strike. Grand finals continue tomorrow. Under 18s at 11 o'clock in the morning. We'll have the women's first grade at 3. Game 2 of our men's first grade state league. 6 o'clock up ahead on the ground by Edgley. Aaron Morgan again with the high throw. Gets over the top of Norris. This one gets a bit of a better rebound. Can they get Edgley a second? No. Nice slide by Desiree Edgley. That's another run on the ball. On the scoreboard for Blacktown. They were shut down through innings 2, 3, 4 and 5, and they've responded with 3 more here in the 6th. Maybe put this out of reach of Penrith, who have battled and battled so hard to get themselves in this great game, and that's going to bring out Kenny Oldfield to have a chat with his pitcher.
With how effective Jess Morgan has been just about all year, especially through the first half of tonight, it will be a struggle to see her go. Not sure who you pivot to after this.
Yeah, certainly not the way that she deserves to go out after firing 5 really strong innings. Yet to record an out here in the 6th. Likely go to Aliyah Teahuru-Kostic. Seems to be the second option here on this Penrith Blackcats team.
If I can be completely honest, when I saw Oldfield removing himself from the dugout, I was a little worried for young Donnie over at umpiring second base.
I don't think Donnie had a worry at all. Donnie has the advantage.
Donnie does have the advantage. Donnie's a pretty smooth operator as well. He doesn't let a lot get to him. And hey, what the umpire says goes. You can't argue with that.
One's going to hit Justine Ages in the back for a trouble. So that's the second one for Jess Morgan. 4 from Georgia Liberopoulos. Obviously none of them with any intent. Does bring a double play option available for Blacktown, for Penrith rather. Gives them a couple of different options to try and find them out. Pitch to accordingly is a ball.
For those of you at home that might not be able to see, it is ever so slightly raining.
Don't mention the R word.
I'm sorry, but I have to. It's part of the story. Might give reason to why Morgan has skied 2 to first base and allowed some runners around. It might be why the other Morgan sister can't fully control her pitches at the moment.
So the baseballs are getting a bit slippery is what you're saying.
Exactly.
Well, maybe that'll work in Penrith's favour in the top half of the 7th. And the weather be Penrith's saviour. First, they've got to find 3 outs here. No run rule in finals baseball. Saw that last week with an 11th spot put up by Penrith. Actually, drifting away from second there, got the running secondary. Before Jess Morgan steps off. That one up the line. Hayes in for it. She's going to have one play. Steps on third to retire Edgley on the fielder's choice. And will finally find themselves an out. Keep the runners at first and second to keep the force on and keep the double play available to them.
Does bring Hayley Wilson up to the box with 1 out. Wilson a bit more of an opposite way hitter. Everything that's had any decent amount of run on it has gone towards the right fielder.
There by Hayley Wilson for strike number 1. Catch up to that one either. So. Could be high 0-2. Couple of errors hurting Blacktown here in the 6th. Swing and miss in the dirt. Batter will be out. Runnels will move up. out. Donnie Washburn, giving the signal on the hitter at first. Does allow the runners to move up, and that looks like it's going to be it for Jess Morgan. So a tough finish for the Penrith pitcher, who was absolutely cruising. 13 straight retired through innings 2, 3, 4, and 5. Calabera's come back to hurt her here in the 6th. Forced the pitching change with her pitch count at 98. Stellar performance in the grand final of her team. She's going to leave the mound with her team trailing by 3. With only 3 outs remaining. We'll pause for the pitching change and come back once Alia Tiahuru Kostic warms up. Leah Teohuru Kostic on the mound to find the final out of this 6th inning. One down in the dirt for ball 1. It's going to be Millie McDonald. Lead-off hitter for Blacktown. Overthrew the run scored, pair of strikeouts on the night. Blacktown just 2 hits. 5 errors committed by Penrith. 3 of them coming in this inning to give Blacktown a 6-3 lead. Move them within 3 outs. Kicked it in the glove. Ball to a strike. For Alia Teohuru Kostic. 11 earned runs coming on 12 hits. She struck out 26, walked 15. To a 5.25 respectable ERA. So between 3 and about 5 and a bit's pretty good. And in down comes the runner from third. Got her in a rundown now. Not careful. Yeah, they didn't get in the right spot. Tiffany Cooper. Going to be an interference call regardless of the end result. Blacktown get another run on what it started as a base running error. Thought it was loaded bases.
It's very rare a base running error ends up becoming a run.
Very true.
But hey, that's what grand finals breed. The bit of chaos ball.
And when you've had a tough inning,
You have had a tough inning.
when the snowball's rolling down the hill, it just gets bigger and bigger. And unfortunately for Penrith, it's the 4th run of the inning.
Last time Tahira Caustic faced Blacktown themselves, pitched a full inning, did start that game, faced 15 batters in that inning complete. 5 hits, 7 runs, only 2 of them earned. 3 walks, 2 walks and 3 strikeouts, 2 hit by pitch. So not the best outing against Blacktown last time they faced back in October.
One lifted, right side. Kate Summons sits underneath it. He makes the catch. And the inning finally comes to an end. But it was an expensive one for Penrith. Blacktown get 4. They lead at 7-3, and they are 3 outs away from taking out this New South Wales Women's League 2nd grade championship. So last chance saloon here for the Penrith side. They are going to need 4. Going to need the 7, 8, 9 hitters. We're a combined 1 for 8 to get it started. Probably going to have to bat through their order if they're at least to send this into extras. Swing and a miss by Claudine. Tahira Caustic just quickly behind 0-2. Desiree Edgley coming out of the bullpen in inverted commas. And really putting this game to bed. Penrith got 1 run in the 6th. Came on a throwing error, which tied up the ball game, but they responded in a big way with 4 runs of their own. That one hit on the ground. Millie McDonough with a long throw on the money to Justine Aegis. Claudine Tahira Caustic must be thinking what she has to do to get herself on base. Nice bit of defense there by Amelia McDonald, and that's the reason why Blacktown lead this ball game 7-3.
When you've got defense making plays like that, it is very easy to stop runs coming in. I think we do have to have a special mention to the catcher for Blacktown and Phoebe Watson, who thus far has called a pretty good game.
Three runs on 7 hits for Penrith. It's the 5 in the error column, which is going to come back to hurt them as Blacktown have managed to score 7 runs on only 2 hits. Both pitchers, both teams pitching just walking the 2 batters. John Labaropoulos did hit 4 batters. Jess Morgan's 2. You see plenty of base runners for Penrith. Just couldn't find the killer blow in the first couple of innings. through those missed opportunities. Blacktown now 2 outs away. Straight back up the middle. Liberopoulos gets over to it quick. Has to wait for it in the end. Austin Norris will be retired to the second out. Blacktown. We have one hand on the trophy.
Is Danielle Hayes coming up to bat for Penrith now, who could potentially be the final out of this women's second grade season.
0 for 2 with a run, a walk and a strikeout for Danielle Hayes. On the bottom of the zone for ball 1. Outside corner, quarter strike.
Whatever numbers, whatever stats, whatever Moneyball stuff you want to throw at this situation, it doesn't matter at the end of the day. Baseball's a sport all about singular moments. And if Desiree Edgley can close out this game, it'll go down as one of the greatest closing roles in women's grade history.
That one lifted into centre field. Underneath it, Liberopoulos can't get there. She's still going to make the throw from the outfield grass. It was on line, just a little bit short. Justine A just knocks it down. And Danielle Hayes will at least bring the top of the order up for Penrith. And give them one last hope. Extend the inning for how many more batters for Penrith? How many more last chances will they have? Straight back up the middle on the first pitch. Liberopoulos with the easiest of plays. And Blacktown are your Women's League second grade champions for 2024-2025. Run out onto the middle of the infield to celebrate. Georgia Liberopoulos, just her second appearance as a pitcher for Blacktown. She went 3 in the third, allowing 2 earned runs on 4 hits. Walked 5, hit 4, struck out 6. And Desiree Edgley getting the job done in the back end of the game. 3 2/3. 1 run, it was an unearned run on 4 hits. She struck out 2. Jess Morgan, the unlucky to be on the losing side of this ball game. 5 2/3. Didn't give up an earned run. All 7 of the runs scored by Blacktown unearned. She struck out a whopping 10, giving up just the 2 hits. But congratulations to Blacktown. They've taken it out in 2024-25. We'll have a presentation on ground for you very shortly.